Welcome back. Get ready to turn on dark mode. We're here to talk working in IT, video games, tech, and everything outside the 9 to 5. I'm one of your hosts, David Foy Muse.
And I'm Keegan Lassard.
What's up?
Hey, what's going
Hey.
on?
Hey.
Tell you
I
what. Tell you
don't know
what.
why that was so funny. That was just like an immediate, hey.
Hey. You gotta tell you something, dude. I'm getting really pissed at Facebook lately.
I thought this was going to be something important.
Nah,
Like,
nah, nah, nah.
I thought you were about to drop some like live news on
I
me.
mean, this kind of is important
Oh,
because,
really?
I mean, you know me, and Facebook's the go-to when you're on the pot, right? You're just about to, gotta do your business. So I'm on Facebook.
Why
Fa-
is that your choice, though?
I don't know. Usually it's Twitter, but I'm almost at the point where I want to delete Facebook at this point.
You We've talked about that many times,
And I
but
never do it. I don't know what's
isn't
preventing
it
me.
what you use to sign in with Spotify?
Yes.
That's the problem. I don't wanna have
It's
to
like the only
transfer
thing it's
all
connected to.
thousands of my songs over.
It's like the only thing it's connected to. Um,
Yeah.
anyways, reason I'm pissed at Facebook this time, and it's not because they're selling my data, but it's their algorithm when their Facebook videos sucks. It is like
Yeah.
one of the worst recommendations.
Did you just now notice that?
Okay, for a while it was fine. Like it would happen occasionally where like maybe I got a couple repeats of a certain like subject. But now
Mhm.
it's getting to the point where like I watch a 10-second clip and like I'm just like curious what this is, but then don't like it. Now Facebook thinks I fucking love this like area of videos. So then it's like always in my feed. And by the way, it's stuck now where I'm constantly getting these terrible videos that I actually personally hate. And it's those stupid react videos
Mhm.
where it's literally just some random person, I don't know who. It's not like they're celebrities in my mind. And it's them watching a video with you as they narrate what's going on. Great idea, guys. Great content. Like I was watching this one. It's not even like they're funny either. I was watching this one and I was like, oh, this is just a normal video of like a guy doing like glass blowing. But I don't know
Mhm.
where there's a narrator. I'm like, and it's like, okay, what is this? Oh, glass blowing. And I'm like, what? Yeah, like why do you have? And then it was her narrating her reaction over a video that she's not in. And I'm like, why
Yeah.
am I watching? Like, and then I'm like, quickly go through it. Now I'm seeing all her videos, and I can't get out
That's
of it.
annoying. I definitely know what you're talking about with the reaction videos because like they're all over. They're like what Snapchat keeps suggesting to me. Like Snapchat's doing the same thing. Like
Yeah,
where once watched like somebody. It was like the wipe it challenge. Like people were wiping, and one of the thumbnails looked kind of funny, but I didn't realize that I was clicking on a reaction video. So it was like I wasn't seeing the original content. I was seeing that culmination of these three dudes that were just sitting there like gawking, like, oh, how did she do that? Then it happens again. Oh, how did she do that? Like, that's like all they could say. Like, it was so stupid.
that. Uh, I mean, I don't know if it's just really popular with younger crowds, but like to me, it is just a dumb. Like, get your own reaction out of it. It's not even like they're funny reactions. They're just like, oh, that was cool. Oh, cool.
Wait, hold on though. There's this one guy. I'm like, it hurts me that I can't remember his name because I kind of want to like plug him, but he literally was getting like TikTok famous or whatever app he was on because his reactions were literally like, dude, nice. Like, just really calm and just, like, not funny. Like, but it was, like, funny because of how like, it reminded me of my brother. You know how my brother doesn't really show a lot of emotion? Like, you'll ask him, "What do
I
you think of that?" "Oh, yeah, it's pretty cool."
I'm
Like,
really excited.
that was kind of this dude, but he had, like, just, like, the slightest little inflection. So he like, they were, like, doing some skateboard tricks. He's like, "Dude, that's pretty cool." Like, that was funny, but, like, the fact that, like, some people wanna get that as their main content is I don't know, I just find that interesting.
Yeah, and like I'll just find days where like I can't get out of the like I genuinely want good video recommendations. I don't want to rewatch the same videos.
Yeah,
And it feels
and then you're
like
gonna just get nothing but those recommendations for the next.
and like heaven forbid you find one like 15-second clip you actually like and then you're good cuz then Facebook won't let you live it down. Like, "Oh, you like ESPN? Oh, you like sports?" I'm gonna give you everything. Boy, do I got sports.
Oh man.
Meanwhile, every
You like
other
sports?
Meanwhile, every other recommendation algorithm like YouTube does it calmly. You have a homepage and they're like, here's some things we think you might like. Here's things from your subscribe list, and here's just some general like what people are watching today.
Yeah. They need to
Small.
start incorporating that into like suggestions that you can like opt into or not, and
Oh,
then they can learn from if you actually click on them or not. Because
yeah.
like the thing about Facebook is they just keep throwing you on this like the endless scroll, automatic scroll of like, oh, hey, watch this next video. And then you kind of like don't get the choice to decide if you want it or not.
Yeah.
Um,
And like the You Betcha videos, those comedy videos that are on Facebook or whatever. Have you seen those?
no.
It's the guy that like franchise Bush Light on Facebook. The heavier set guy with the beard. No, not ringing a
No,
bell.
I haven't seen it, I don't
Either
think.
way, they're like comedy sketches, and some of them are genuinely funny. But like you watch a couple of them, and then they'll just like randomly, if they're not sure what to recommend you, they'll just throw those back in that you've watched yesterday. Like enjoy it again, and like also with their Facebook gaming, they'll just like put in somebody's live stream randomly, and I'm like, well, I wonder how that affects their view counts. Because like sometimes advertisers look for that, like how many view counts do you get per day per stream, and
Mhm.
it's like I don't want like it seems stingy, but like I don't want my view to just be given out willy nilly to like and to be accounted for. Isn't that kind of odd? Like it's kind of odd that we're getting to that point with
Yeah, I'm
YouTube and
not
everything where
sure.
it's like I want to make sure my view counts because it's gonna go towards an algorithm. So I don't know. It's just really weird how we got to that point, but like Facebook's the only one that seems to be like not fully there yet of where it's user friendly, whereas YouTube I think is like it's pretty accurate the recommendations. Like it's not like there hasn't been a time where I'm watching a YouTube video and to my right on those like recommendations there's not at least 2 to 3 videos that I would want to queue up.
Yeah, and I think it's hard too because like you're not gonna see 2 to 3 suggestions on your tiny little screen, like you on YouTube you have to scroll down, so they might have to implement some sort of video player where you can like while viewing it see what they would suggest next and then
Right.
choose that. Because like when you go to Instagram, that's also owned by Facebook, they have like their discover page, which will show you a whole list of things. And then if you click into that one video, it gives you like stuff related to that video, not so much
Oh.
like, hey, here's one random sports video, but you clicked on a cute dog. like you're gonna get nothing but cute dogs. And then
Yeah.
maybe sometimes they throw in a random thing here or there. But I don't
Yeah.
know. They definitely need some work because I get what you mean on this whole like you like sports, like here's 10. When you said that, it reminded me of that one movie. You watched it. You probably remember the name where he was like, "You like dags?"
Oh, Snatch with
Yeah,
Brad
yeah.
Pitt.
So you like sports, they toss it in there, but I don't know how they're gonna like revamp that because like also Instagram just implemented Reels, which is like their version of TikTok. And I'm not here to bash on TikTok. Like it never really was for me. I know it has its place in like the younger generation, especially right now. But
Yeah.
like all of a sudden I clicked on something and it was like replaying endlessly. And I was like, wait, what the hell is this? And I saw it said Reels at the top. And I'm like, dude, did these dudes just like yoink TikTok and put it in their app real quick? Like they were
Yep.
probably already working on it because it's a competitor, but like they were like, oh, TikTok's banned. Let's launch it.
I mean,
like,
they did that with like the Snapchat thing with my stories.
yeah. So like it's not unheard of. I'm not surprised at all. But it's just really funny.
While we're here bashing Facebook, another thing that's been bothering me lately is their auto-generated captions. I don't know where to turn that off on their videos. I don't know if you've seen this, but like some videos will just randomly start generating captions, even
Like
though the video.
responses, like you like your auto replies.
No, like in the video, like let's say it's just a video, and even if it has their own
Oh, you're talking about
built-in.
like subtitles, closed
Yeah,
caption.
yeah. Yeah. Even if the video itself has it, they will auto-generate over it. And half the time it's super incorrect. And it's not what they're saying.
Yeah. I think that's actually on the person who made the video though. Like they are the ones that decide
If it's
because
gonna auto-generate captions?
or if it has it at all. Because like when we ran our dark mode ad, they were like, "Oh, videos with captions get more views because a lot of people start the video with their sound off." So like there was a type of caption file like type that I don't remember the extension that I had to generate. And they gave me the option to have it do auto generate. And they were, I think they gave a warning. They were like, it's not the best. And then
It's
like,
really not.
yeah, but then you can write in your own, and then I
Um,
chose to write in our own. But, like, it's weird that the people that uploaded the video would choose to have captions in the, like, video. Like, they made it in the video, and then they put captions on top of it because it's gonna double, caption.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I've noticed that and I cringe because I'm just like, this clearly someone's just not like they don't care and they just throw it up there. Also, like, what's with these like TV shows throwing like minute snippets of a episode into Facebook videos? Like I saw Gordon Ramsay's like Hell's Kitchen or Kitchen Nightmares, and they put like 1 to 2 minute like snippets of a video of a highlight, but it's not like the full scene. Like it'll cut you off short. And it's not like you can go in within Facebook to like their page and watch full videos and full
Mhm.
episodes. Like you would have to like get off your phone, go to Hulu, and figure out where this show's streaming to finish watching the episode that they put it. Like to me, it's just like it doesn't make sense in my head to put like these highlights that are so short compared to the whole episode, but it doesn't lead you anywhere besides to like there to get recognition of that old show. It's just
I get
odd.
that because like, there's times where it might even just be some sorta ad for a different video. It doesn't have to be a TV show, but, like, there's no, like, easy way to get to the content that they just put out. So it's kind of like, I don't know. That's why, like, when I link our videos, or like put our little 1 minute snippets of our episodes, I try to tell them like the link is in the bio because, you could just hop over, but it's not like I have to like, oh yeah, go like boot up Hulu to watch this. Just
Well,
like walk into your living room, sit at the couch and get after it.
with that and Facebook's the way their pages work, like it's actually kind of a treasure hunt to get to the whatever video. Like let's say you closed out of the app and you actually wanted to finish a video and you like went to that page to get find the video. If they upload more than like 10 videos, like that video is gonna be hard for you to go find.
Yeah.
Like it's not gonna be easy.
Yeah, I guess the state of the algorithm could use some, I don't know, improving, some tweaking, but I guess the end all like immediate change that they could implement is instead of like just tossing, here's 10 more videos off that 10-second clip you just watched. It's like you get towards the end of the video like a little overlay that shows like three more suggestions, and then you could like tap one, like, oh hey, like that looks interesting. Or like they'll still auto scroll you after, like YouTube has autoplay to play the
Yeah.
next one. Like implement that so then they know, oh, he didn't want to watch that one. Oh, okay, let's not suggest it then, you
Yeah.
know?
Also, can we let's another thing. I don't understand why they had to implement like Instagram TV, for example, where if your video is over a certain length, you have to like literally while you have to distract the user from the video like after 30 seconds. Same thing on Facebook actually. They have this where it after 30 seconds it'll pause. I've
Yeah, and
noticed
then
that.
continue watching.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if they're trying to improve their algorithm by like, oh, does he want to keep watching it? And you have
That
to physically
definitely is like some sort of metric, like
but it's
click-through rate.
infuriating. Just let me keep watching the fucking video,
Well, you know
especially
what
on
I would
Instagram.
want more is if on the normal less than 1 minute clips, there was a slider like for you to go back. If there's a funny part 40 seconds into a 1 minute clip, I don't want to have to rewatch the first 40 seconds again. Like,
Yeah.
just let me slide back to the part that's funny. Like, I just, they need to put that in there. I don't know why they don't have that.
And like Instagram, when you're like when you have to go to the Instagram like TV subsection, it's annoying for me because like sometimes I just want to keep it on the main feed and keep watching
Mhm.
and not have it muted. Whereas when you have to click that, then it becomes not muted, and you go to a completely different UI, and chances are my volume's just like skyrocketed out of nowhere. And I'm on a Slack call, everyone hears it, and I'm like shit, and then I'm like scrambling to mute it again. It's just I don't know. It just doesn't to me. The Instagram TV, I get why they implemented it for a better video player, but at the same time, it takes away from if you want anybody to watch videos on your main. Then, in my opinion, if you want that, then get rid of videos as a post on the stream on the main feed.
Well, I they should have just made them integrate into the feed better. Like you said, they shouldn't take you to a separate section,
Yeah,
but like you should have the option to like full screen it from the feed, and then you can turn your phone, but like as soon as you exit out, like it's right back there, like it just like disappears like a full screen video would, and then you keep
yeah.
scrolling. And like I've seen a couple of people use it in clever ways where like this one guy, he starts the video in the square, and then after you
Oh,
get
he
to
tells
the
people to
yeah, he's like,
rotate down.
"Get ready to flip your phone sideways with me." And then, like, he doesn't flip it, like, for you
You
on
talking
the
about Andrew
screen, but,
Schultz?
like, I don't know his name. I think you probably sent me a couple of his videos. But, like, you would just turn your phone even though it's not portrait or it still is portrait locked. So you're viewing a landscape video in portrait. But, like, think about how ugly of a workaround that is for something that should have just been done right from the start. Like,
Yeah, I
I don't understand it. And then there's like the whole restrictions of like, oh, if you want an Instagram thumbnail, you got to fit within this box. But then the Instagram IGTV is like this big. It's like slightly more. So like you got to be using all the space you can get. But then when you click on the actual thumbnail, it's the full phone screen size. So it's like there's three different aspect ratios that I got to worry about just for one post. Like,
and that nobody clicks on.
yeah, I don't
No
know.
one, no, I mean, no offense, like I love our icon, but like people only pay attention to the icon in like the main feed, and like outside of that, they're not gonna click on it. Like,
Yeah. I don't know. It's hard to grab attention. I mean, as our slow rise to fame, we got like what 108 followers right now. People don't want to click on you until they know it's like what it is. So
yeah,
we just got to go viral.
yeah, help us,
Should I
please.
just like throw a virtual pie at you and then like laugh and then put it on TikTok and then we'll get
You
famous?
know what we have to do? We have to make the podcast video into a cake, and then it was always cake meme gets made.
Oh my goodness. So like all of a sudden the dude squeezes like the laptop that has us on it and then we're cake and he eats us?
Or like it's the video, but it just keeps getting zoomed out, and it's like somebody watching our video, and then it's just the top of a cake, and then they cut into it.
I mean, it's funny because we're talking about this whole algorithm and it's like
We're not in
we're
it.
we're not in it. Yeah, I was literally like, we need to get into it somehow. But like
Uh,
I I guess like what they're saying is probably trying to help a lot of people get exposure. Like, oh, you watch 10 seconds, like let's put it back into you. But like that's I don't think that's the way that people like to get won over, like forcefully. Like,
I
yo,
don't at
watch
least.
our shit. You watched the 5 seconds, watch more.
We're probably pissing off some dude in England, and it's just like I don't like this podcast. I don't understand. It keeps coming in my feed.
Get it out of here.
Oh shit! But if you're liking
So
the
if you guys are
podcast,
liking the
none of
podcast, that was unscripted and I love it. Please remember to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications.
oh shit! Please, if you're liking it, give us some feedback. You can comment on any of our YouTube posts, and we'll likely read it, respond
Because
back.
you're the only one
'Cause you're
responding.
the only one. But if you wanna hear something on the show, or you want a personalized shout out, feel free to comment on there, follow us on all of our platforms, spread the word, and join our Discord. We're always in it, and if you want to get to know us, I mean, we're in there. And if you want to play games with us, we're in there. So
I wouldn't say we're always in it, but we will be in it if people are. We don't just sit in an
yeah,
empty Discord
I kind of do
waiting,
sometimes
just
though.
like, where is everyone?
But yeah, please, like we said, like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell.
So,
I know I said bar.
bar, yeah, you tweak it. I built my PC, the
Hey,
gaming or the streaming PC, excuse me. Um, it went really smoothly. Took me like 2 hours, 2 and a half, but there was one hiccup, and I had never used well, I've only built one PC for me, and I've helped people build other ones, but this was the first time where I bought like a big air cooler for the CPU,
Yeah.
and boy was that thing like giving me so much struggle.
How
Like,
loud is it?
oh, it's super quiet, and it's made me
Really?
want to get rid of my AIO unit in my gaming one because of how loud it is. Like, I I just don't like the way air coolers look though, because they are just
Yeah.
so chunky, and I like
Giant.
the way that like the ropes look for the well, not ropes, but the hoses look on the water cooling. But it's really quiet, like, when it's idling. I haven't done any intensive things on it yet, but, like, I'm currently recording the podcast on it, and I can't hear it. Like,
That's
any
solid.
background noise you hear is Athena just screaming. Like, literally, she, like, is so loud in comparison to the other one, which is unnamed yet, so
Yeah, my PC that I built, Mira, like, sometimes I'll be playing games and, like, the fan is just so loud that I'm like, Are you struggling? Like, you don't die on me." It makes me worried sometimes, but,
I guess that's
whatever.
normal, though, for, like, gaming PCs and, like, editing PCs because they have to do so much, but
Yeah, like, sometimes I'll just do a quick, like, test and just touch it, make sure it's not overheating or some shit. But, like, um, yeah, that's a major thing is to make sure it's not super loud. Which, by the way, if you want to see what his streaming PC is, we'll put a link to the PC part picker in our description as well. If you guys are
yeah.
curious.
I mean, some of them I got, like, parts from friends, so I don't know if the links are still live, but
Oh,
I'll put, like, the outdated link just so they know. But the funny thing is, though, when I try to install this air unit, air-cooled unit thing, I can't speak.
air.
I got the
Cool.
Dark Rock Pro 4, which is like it's the brand name is Be Quiet, which is funny. I like, "Oh, it's gonna be quiet then, huh?" Um, they had this weird setup where, like, the first fan at the front of the heatsink was already
Mhm.
attached, like, it came on it, but it came not like, you don't screw it anywhere. It has these little, like, metal, like, bendable things that stick into the holes where the screws would go, and then it, like, clips onto the heatsink. So that was already set up for one, but then because this thing was so gigantic, like, it was, like, as big as my head, like,
That's
I
big.
and I
Shit.
got a micro ATX motherboard, which is one of the smaller ones.
Yeah. So
So
it's just your computer's
it's like,
like 90% fan based.
dude, honestly, but I knew this going in, so I was like, because I've built PCs before and I can anticipate where things are kind of like gonna take up space.
uh,
I like made sure that I wired up everything and like had everything set so then I could just like plop the thing in there and then just like leave it. Cause I was like, the RAM is it could not hit, like, the power supply shroud or not, excuse me, the, back panel IO plate might not fit, and then,
Shout
like,
out to Shroud.
getting getting the, like, the CPU headers to come around and, like, fans, like, I had to make sure all that was ready. So
Yeah.
then when I'm in there, I'm in a tight area, and I gotta slide in this middle fan in between the heatsink. Now, I had previously just been praising the design of this thing because they have this really long screwdriver that they give you with it. And
Oh,
it's
that's
like,
convenient.
"Oh, it's this is really cool." Like, it's metal tip, and I was like, "Why is it so long though?" It's literally because in order to screw it into your motherboard, you have to go and screw something that's, like, underneath the heatsink. So they put a gap in the heatsink and then a little hole that you unscrew and put the screwdriver into to do it, like, internally. I was like, "Oh, that's kinda smart." Then I tried to put the fan on in the middle, and I was like, "I hate this product." Like, all hell broke loose, dude, because I was trying to put those little clip things, like, those little metal clips, I could
Yeah.
not for the life of me get it to, like, bend around. Like, I was trying to, like, "Okay, all you gotta do is turn," and it just refused, and then, like, it wouldn't clip on, and I was, like, tugging it in and out, and then finally I realized that they included, but didn't specify, that there was different sizes of those things, and I was like,
Oh.
"Okay, but wait a minute. Under what circumstance would you use the other size?" Because I literally couldn't figure
Was it
out
larger or smaller?
the other size was larger, so it wasn't, like, staying tight, and I was like, "This is
Oh,
too
okay.
loose." But then I was like, "Wait, under what circumstances would you use the larger one?" and I was reading the instructions and it didn't specify which one to use. So I was getting upset by its design, but it was also half my stupidity. Either way, I was like, I don't know what's going on. It's working now.
It's funny, like, when you have to, like, PC build and, like, when something, like, what should just be standard and should just work and it doesn't. As soon as that doesn't I don't know if this happens to you, but it happens to me, where you just, like, start sweet talking yourself, you're like, you're okay, you're gonna walk through it, it's okay, we're good, we do this, and then we're gonna move to the like, you're just pepping yourself up to make sure you don't screw up. Especially, like, when I was, having struggles with the spring, screws on
Mhm.
my cooling system, I kept getting really worried about the processor because, like, you have to put quite a bit of pressure on those spring screws, and I'm like, "Dude, if I bend these prongs like that, I'm fucked."
Yeah.
And sure enough, I pull it out, and because I couldn't get it, and I was like, "Fuck this," and, like, I cleaned off the thermal paste, and then I look at it, and they're just bent. There's just rows bent, and I'm like, "Yo," I'm like, "Yo, Taylor, what do you do?" And you're like, "I've never had that happen to me before." I'm like,
Well, also, like, I don't frequently build AMD. So,
"Yeah,
like, AMD set in there a little bit weird. Like, the newer motherboard that I got,
yeah,
I was like, "How does this work?" Because on the Intel, you get like a cover that you take off, and then you put the CPU in, and there's a very clear little triangle.
yep,
Like,
yep."
here's the freaking way it goes. Like, it's hard to screw that part up. Then you just take the little lever and close it, and it now cups over the CPU.
And it doesn't feel satisfying. It doesn't feel like at least from mine.
On the Intel one or the, AMD ones though, like, they don't have the sheath that goes over the top. It, like,
Yeah.
you put them in, first of all, sideways, which was weird for me. I was like, "Why isn't the lettering facing me? Like, it's sideways." That at least that was the orientation mine was at. And then, like, you have to open the lever and you see it go past gold. Like, you're like, "Okay, those are the contacts." But then you put it in when it's past them, and then you, like, slide it back and it goes over them. And I was like, "Wait, is it in?" Like, there's nothing holding it. Like, how is it just holding on to those without bending them? And then, like, I was like, "All right, well, it's not moving and it looks like the right orientation." But then because I got this custom CPU fan, like, it wasn't those spring-loaded screws that you had, which were a pain in the ass. So, like,
The
it, like, was
worst.
just it screwed in normally, there was no spring to it. So, it was hard to screw that part up, but
It's
I
just
was still worried.
the spring ones, they're so intimidating to hear because, like, they make noise, dude. They make you think you're breaking your PC. Like,
Yeah.
and it's just you realize when you start building PCs, like, how some things are fragile within the PC, but really, for the most part, inside your PC, like, it could, like, you're not gonna break something by accidentally, like, you're not chances are you're not gonna bust your motherboard or, it could take it for
Yeah, I mean, like, you don't wanna be playing with it like it's Legos, but, like
No, no, by no means, but I'm just saying, like, it's on your first or so PC build, like, everything's super fragile, and, like, you should be careful, but at the same time, it's like, you're not gonna hurt anything if you accidentally go too hard on a screw or something like that.
but you did.
I mean, yeah, but I
But,
was
like,
able to
that
fix it.
I
Like,
think that
you're
was
not gonna lose
just
money.
due to weird design, though. Like,
Yeah.
because in the instance that you wouldn't have spring-loaded screws, like, everything else worked fine. I just think that the spring-loaded screws are actually really dumb because under no circumstances are they necessary. Like,
'Cause you got the
I
thermal paste on there too.
well, the thermal paste isn't glue, it's just so it doesn't, like, have just metal on metal. Like, it's,
Yeah.
like, the medium. But, like, I have a AIO and you screw that in and it's not spring loaded. It's just like it screws in to the back plate. Like, okay, that's all you need. Why does it need to be spring loaded? It's putting unnecessary tension on like and then you have to try to get them all evenly in and it's just like a pain. Either
Yeah.
way, she's working. I'm recording
What's
on her now and I'm
what's the
hoping that
name?
it's working. I told you I don't have a name yet.
I mean, come on. Just throw it
I
out
don't
there.
have a name yet. I gotta
Go
think
with the
about it.
gut. Go with the gut.
There is
Just
no
be like,
gut. There see, like we said, this is a side piece. So, like,
yeah, this
names
is
might not be
this
important. She'll get a name eventually, but I have to think of one.
Yeah, it's kinda messed up. You got, like, Athena right there and just staring at your side PC, you
She's got
know?
no lights on her though. I went with like just
She ain't look that good, huh?
no, no, no. She's real black, sleek. Like there's no lights in there. I went with all black parts. So we'll see.
Alright.
Hopefully, there's gonna be like less hiccups, but I haven't like ironed out the kinks of like, okay, what bit rates and what like different things I can use with the capture card I have now. Because I'm
Yeah.
sure there's like certain things that'll work better with my hardware versus other ones, and I didn't have a lot of time to set that up between building it and then now recording.
So how was wiring 2 Ethernet cords into there? Was it a struggle or
So I didn't have to get one down the hall again. I bought a Switch, like a legit network Switch, not the Nintendo Switch, and just plugged in the original Ethernet from my PC into that, and then now I have enough to put into the stream PC, my Mac, the gaming PC, and other like the PS4 if I bring it back in here. Because right now it's in my living room on the HDR TV because I'm still
that's
playing
cool.
Ghost of Tsushima.
I
um,
might have to look into getting one of those for my office because 'cause I'm
yeah,
tired of seeing like, when I stream, I have to have 2 ugly cords go down my hall into the office.
yeah. So then now you could just have one, but then like you could
Yeah.
tape it or what do you call it? Do the like staples to the wall so then it like it's out of the way and looks neater, and then you can like have the mess be in your actual office.
Well, I also need it for work because I need Ethernet to the MacBook, so I have, like, an adapter for that, so, like, if I had 3 cords, that'd be convenient.
True. And like right now, I've been making a lot of additions to the desk setup, but like I haven't been messing with cord management at all because I
Oh,
know
so it's
that
just
like
wild, wild
oh
west over
it
there.
is ugly. Like I'm like looking down below and it's all over the floor and then like behind the monitors, like it's bad. But like I know I'm gonna get a standing desk soon and I just ordered it today and it comes in a few weeks. So I'm waiting until like I have to unscrew the legs on this because I'm gonna have to take everything off the desk,
Yeah.
flip it upside down, and then once I get that situated, I'm gonna just go like full wire management mode on it, where I'll just like put a nice surge protector with like 12 ports in like a tray underneath. So like the whole mess will be contained in that so you can't really see it. And then when the desk goes up and down, the only thing that actually needs to go up and down, like wire wise, is the one tether to the wall. So then I don't have like, okay, the desk is rising. Here go 10 wires, like all going up and start pulling shit down. So
Yeah.
it'll be fun.
I wish I had the gene for just being OCD with wire management and, like, just making sure that everything looks neat, because, like, I could go weeks just staring at, like, a cluster of wires and just be like, "I'll get to it later." Like, it's not gonna
Oh,
bother me.
and, like, I did that, like, it bothered me for a little bit, but, like, I got over the fact that it didn't look neat, but trust me, when you do wire management well and you see what it's like, then you're kinda like, "Well, shit, like, this is kinda nice," and then you don't really wanna go back to the spaghetti spider web mess under your desk.
I had a roommate in college that was, like, obsessed with, like, making sure everything was optimized to cord management. Like, to the point where he would duct tape, like, on the floor, like,
Didn't
cords
he
to
have
make them
zip
hit
ties on, like, every single, like
everything. Like, every if it could be zip tied, it was. Even if it wasn't his cord.
Yeah, like I can't do the zip ties as much because like if you ever need to like change out a cord or if you're gonna add stuff, like good luck. Like it's not like a PC where like you're not gonna be digging in and out of that usually. And if you are and you know that, you probably aren't gonna zip tie everything. But like I'm not opening up the back of the case all the time. But like if it's like, oh hey, I want to plug in my PlayStation, well like now I
Good
gotta
luck.
cut all these cords and put a new one in, or I don't know, it's just dumb.
Yeah.
So, Microsoft just slapped you with something kinda
They slapped, and, like, then you're like, "Oh," and then they were like, "Hey, we got some good news." Slap. Don't give a
they
shit.
hit you with, like wait, which one did they do first? Was it the good news or the bad news?
I wanna
Or was it
say
at
it
the
wa
same time?
let me look at the reporting date. So that's at 2 PM. I It was within the same day. I remember it was, right? Yeah, it was in the same day. So at 6:30 p.m., that was the last time it was updated, but it was posted at 2 p.m. on August 11th.
But they
Dude,
they they
within
did it in
minutes.
the same conference though, right?
Within minutes of each other. So basically, it doesn't matter. So however you got the information, you got it. But basically, they're like, "Hey, we got a release date for the Xbox Series X," which kudos on them. They're not saying holiday 2020. They're like, "It's November," and I can't remember the date because I got so pissed off.
I don't think there's a date yet. They just confirmed it is November.
November,
Yeah.
and then they're like, "So that's great," and everyone's like, "Woo!" And then they're like, Halo's not gonna be coming out with it. Halo's gonna be out there in 2021. It's being delayed because of COVID reasons. Okay.
That's tough.
Where was this information a couple weeks ago when we saw gameplay footage of Halo,
That
huh?
was my immediate reaction. Like, I
You
was
got you
like,
guys
"You guys full on knew that you were, like, not looking great. So why, like, get everybody's hopes up?" Because it wasn't like they just showed gameplay. They actually did say, "Hey, it's still coming out in November, still a launch title." And then, like, 3 weeks later, yes, like, it's not.
like, were you guys just feeling yourselves a couple weeks ago and then somebody's like, "Yo, no." And this shit's
Probably.
not coming out. You know, here, I'm gonna go into my Keegan mode of predicting what went down inside of 313's studios industry.
Naturally. I mean, like, I was expecting it. You kinda already started.
They're
Like,
like,
"Let's go wait, hold on. We gotta go into the brain of the person."
so all right, dudes, I just got off the phone with Microsoft. They want us to keep going on with this gameplay footage. They want us to be optimistic. It's not running at what we want it to, and we can't even tell them it's going to run with the Xbox console. Actually, our multiplayer is kind of fucked. It's going to be free, but it's going to be improved as we go. But we got to have this conference, guys. All right, so we'll have a conference. We'll be super optimistic, and we'll just kind of go from there. But we'll tell Microsoft, hey, our risk is we don't know if we'll hit that date.
Random
Cool?
guy from
Cool.
the back. "Hey, like, maybe we should just tell him it's gonna be delayed and show the conference."
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. All right, so we're gonna send them that press release. Microsoft will be happy. We'll still go through. All right, cool, cool, cool. They do the release. Whatever happens, Microsoft's happy. They're happy. That dude in the back's like QA that they told to shut the fuck up, and he's like, "Hey, it's still failing. These are showstoppers. We're gonna have to delay the game." Ah, fuck. All right, why didn't you say that last week, dude? All right,
I
so
did! I even logged it!
now they get into a conference call. They leave that guy outside. It's just the executives who don't know what the fuck is being tested or being developed. They tell Microsoft, "Hey, I know we got this big conference and you guys are going to release the release date of the Xbox, but we're not going to come out with it. COVID reasons." Microsoft's like, "All right, fuck. I guess we don't really give a shit if they buy the console anyways. So I mean, fine.
Facts, though. Oh,
All right,
man.
end
End
scene."
scene. Gibbs is clapping over there. He really enjoyed that one.
Thanks, Gibbs. Thanks, Gibbs.
Alright.
Oh,
I
you
mean,
don't even like video games. All right.
but, like, it was more about the
Performance of it all. That's
performance. He could
fine.
appreciate a great performance.
That's
But
probably what happened though. They were probably optimistic with the gameplay footage and something that was labeled a risk that might delay the game happened. They chose to ignore it, and then they went to Microsoft with it, and Microsoft said, "Hey, we'll just delay the game."
yeah,
The
it's dumb though, because it would have been better, like, way better for them to just be like, "Hey, here's the game." And then they're just like at the end of it, had like, "Here's the release date."
or they already said that after the game's released that they'll have to do improvements. Like there's still improvements to be made on the game, right?
Yeah.
Like, why wouldn't they just say, "Hey, we're gonna release it, but it's not our finished product. It's gonna be technically classified as early access, maybe."
I don't know if early access would have bode well for Halo just because it is their flagship game.
Triple A,
Like,
yeah.
for instance, Fortnite just recently got rid of their early access, but like people didn't notice. But like Fortnite wasn't a first party like flagship game at launch. It like was really rough around the edges. And then it got pretty decent. So then like for them to just be like Halo's coming out in early access, I feel like people would just like lose their
I don't
mind.
know, like some sort of release, like update like that. Like we ran into issues that we didn't think were gonna happen. Ultimately, they should have just been upfront. Like, before they released the gameplay footage, delay it then. Because then at least the positive outweighs the negative where, "Shit, we just got told it's gonna be delayed, but here we can actually finally see the game."
True.
Like, it would've outweighed it. But now, in my opinion, Microsoft needs to have something. Like, they can't just release they've just said that everything's not gonna be exclusive to the console. It'll be available on PC. And now they're saying the flagship game that's gonna be coexisting with the console isn't gonna come out. So what, are they just gonna rely on Cyberpunk, which isn't exclusive to anything? And then therefore they have no I guess, you know what, PS5 is not their competition, so I guess I don't know what I'm even comparing it to.
It's just gonna be unfortunate for Xbox people that, like, let's say someone has a Xbox One and that's it, and they want to upgrade to the Series X. They have the money, they have the time, they want it. Like like you said, Cyberpunk's gonna be the main allure, but like they don't have any reason to do a day one upgrade really because they
Yeah.
can play that game on consoles that they already own. So
And it's a free upgrade, right?
yeah, yeah, I'm pretty sure Cyberpunk is a free upgrade. So like they don't have to.
It's really like, as if we needed more reasons to not buy this next gen console from Microsoft. It's a big hate to see it,
Yeah, I don't know. Like it's
especially being
gonna
a
be
Microsoft
interesting.
fanboy.
It's gonna be so interesting to see how it shakes out because like Sony doesn't even have a lot at the start. They have their Spider-Man thing that they're shooting for like at launch or shortly after, but like other than that, like nothing has been confirmed as a launch title that is like earth-shattering. So like it's gonna be the same boat for them, but like I don't know. We'll just have to see what Xbox is gonna do because they might have a one that they haven't announced yet. That's a launch title coming. Like there's still a lot of time in the summer. Gamescom is coming up, and we can report on that, but I don't
You
know.
know, I I shit on a lot of companies for not being prevalent in releases and press releases and being upfront with communication, but I get it to an extent where, like, the community is so toxic to a point where if you disappoint them or you know, go a route that the communication's not perfect, it's gonna get shit on. Even if it is perfect, they'll probably get shit on. But at some point, they just need to realize that it's better just to be upfront with the progress.
Yeah,
It's they'll be more understanding if it does get delayed, if they are on, you know, weekly or monthly check-ins with the developers. Paradox has been doing this for a while now, and it's really helpful to see what like, you can literally track the progression of what they've been working on feature by feature by month because they want you to be interested in the game, and then it's not the end of the world when it gets delayed because you understand how much effort they're putting into it. Whereas before, it's like it gets announced and then years go by and you have no idea where they're at with progress or any cool snippets of what features they might be working on, and you get no interaction with the developers because the company doesn't do any communication. They don't do any
yeah,
communication until it's like at the very last second, and it's either good news or it's terrible news.
yeah. And I think that's also changing because, like, when we work in IT and everybody's coming from like the waterfall mindset where like you were just like, here's the plan, let's do it, stick to the plan. When it's done, it's done. And then there was no updates for us. Like now,
Yeah.
with everything being more agile and a lot of people wanting to peek into the minds of the dev and what their progress are, they give like press releases or little video updates. And like we just got a new one, Night City Wire for um episode 2 for Cyberpunk, and they announced some really crazy stuff that I just was not prepared for. Like the first
Me
one,
either.
they showed just like that um mind dance or whatever it was called where you can like analyze the scenes and stuff. Now they're like focused on like the story and like the guns, and boy was I excited to see this, man.
And
Like
it makes you not think about the delay. It makes you think
well
of
like
the updates.
they were already forward with why it was delayed. They were
Right.
straight up just like I mean, the game's like, we need to QA it, like, straight up. Like, we need more time, and then COVID, and then all that. And then,
Just the circuit board, like, loading screen has me, like, excited.
I mean, there's so much more than just the circuit board, my guy. They got like 3
These
different life paths.
factories.
They got Nomad, Street Kid, and Corpo, and they're gonna be different starting points for you in the story, which,
I
like,
just
I already wanna play the game 3 times, right? Like
I wanna play it all at the same time. Like, I wanna have
yeah,
multiple save
but,
files.
like, I don't understand. yet if this affects like the whole story drastically or if it's just like little inflection points within it. Because they were saying that like, oh, if you're a street kids, you're gonna have better in with the gang. So like when gang related stuff happens, like you can like have connections or like know how to deal with that. But then like corporation, you're gonna start in the corporate field, like deep in it. And like now you're gonna have the ins with that stuff. So any sort of like corporate related things that come up, like, I mean, I thought that was cool, but just the
Yeah.
whole fact that you start the game in a different spot was really cool to me. Like,
Well, it reminds me it to me, it's just better role playing because now, like, let's say you want it to be more on the outs of the city. You can play as a nomad, which just came up. Let's say you want to be like deep into like the structure of everything, plays corpo. Let's say you just want to be on the streets, you just want to have some sort of street knowledge and you want to know what's going on. I think it just will impact dialogue. I don't know if it'll impact like overall story to an extent, but I think maybe certain areas will be easier or different paths of like mitigating a mission because you are a nomad, because you're a
yeah.
street kid. Obviously the intro will be your own story, but once you get like I'm sure there's like a melding pot point where like you're on the same track as if you were to be any other type of kid.
I mean, the developers did say that this was like a it's gonna help you in the way you just said, where like different points, but like you could tell they were like there was more to it that they couldn't really say. Like they
I
had to
know.
leave for some surprise. So like I'm wondering like are we getting different endings or are we getting like different climaxes to the game based on what's going on? Because like for
Yeah.
instance, if I'm in the corporate scene, that has its own story arc. Like it will bleed into the other ones, but I wonder if it's like a Game of Thrones, like, where they have, like, 6 different stories going on at
Going on at
once
the
that
same time.
all come to one point, but then, like, you would see a completely
Dude,
different
why'd they have to have
perspective.
this throw up scene in there? And I was like, that was too much. Too much.
I don't know.
But you know, where my mind went, so it's funny you brought that up because where my mind went is like, I wonder if when they come out with DLC, if it'll just be a new path
It could
and
be.
it would be like you could like see.
Dude, I didn't even think about this. Hold on. The Witcher had like 2 of the best like, I still haven't played the game, right? Like, I'm going off of the public's opinion.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
had what some of the most widely received well-received DLC packs, and they're like an addition to the story you've already played. So I know
Yeah.
that CD Projekt Red is gonna do some stuff like that. Now, if they did a whole new life path, that would be cool, but that would also require you to, like, play the game through a 4th time, and people might be a little bit burnt if they've already been kinda, like, cranking, you know? Like, not everybody. I know there's people that'll play a game for 300 hours and then some and more, but, like, I would assume that they're gonna add something onto it where this is like an additional story arc because they showed at the trailer in the previous Night City Wire that was like a whole bank heist thing. And they were like, "Oh yeah, by the way, that's just a prologue." And I was like, that looked like a complete story, start to finish, like movie. Like that could have been the whole game. So like if that was their prologue, I would more expect like that level of like story arc in a DLC.
Well, my prediction is if they do a new life path, it's for the option to replay, obviously, but you could probably play still the same story edition with your already created character. I'm assuming,
Yeah, probably.
like kind of like how I mean Fallout did similar things where like once you got the expansion, it just triggered a quest that you could go on at whatever level you wanted to start it, or or what else am I thinking? World of Warcraft when they introduce a new class doesn't mean to get to that new area of story, you have to be that class. It just means, there's new things available. Like if you want to replay and build it up with this new path, go for it. But if not, you can still access this area
Mhm.
via your own class or whatever. But I
It
don't
should
know.
be
Like
good. It should be good. I
it
mean,
has me stoked. I honestly, it's funny. Like I'll get excited for other games, and then all of a sudden, CD Projekt Red, it's like, no, 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 no. Hold on. You still love us.
yeah.
We're still your number one.
Yeah.
These might be some side games, but we're still your number one.
I mean,
Oh,
like,
Avengers, they
there's
just
just
dissed you.
there's just so much more depth. Like, Avengers can just go hide in
Like
the
these
corner.
gun customizations, like, dude, chill. Like when they're showing off these new guns or like these small things. But what gets me is when I see the menu because I see all the other options that are still
Yeah.
like yet to be discovered.
That's what I'm saying, like, they went the depth of not only just the role playing, but, like, a lot of people or I had heard comments, they were like, "Okay, Cyberpunk's gonna be very good for story and role playing, but the combat looked a little weak." I heard that comment, and I
Yeah.
was not really, like, agreeing with that because I was like, "The combat looked fine to me," but this is them coming out and saying, "Dude, we got guns, we got abilities, we got mods, we got all this stuff that you can do and just, like, toy around with." And
Like this smart gun seems like crazy OP.
yeah, and I mean, like, that's been in, like, Borderlands 3, but, like, in this instance, like, those guns are always so over the top and kinda, like, they're all procedurally generated, so, like, sometimes they kinda lose their flair because it's like, okay, this is just a reskinned version of the other gun, but with a better, you know, stats. These look like they got character. Like, there's gonna be ones that you like, seek after, you can buy them, you can do, like, quests to get them, and then you got, like, melee weapons, which are just, like, swords. That was really cool for me, and the mantis blades, like, I forget about some of these things.
Like the mantis blades looked cool, but like when they had the katana out, I honestly wasn't like super thrilled with what I saw with their melee combat.
How so? Like, it just looked kind of, like, flat?
It looked kind of clunky. It didn't look as fluid as some of like the guns you saw prior and like their and it could just be very well that like whenever they do reveals like this, they go very slow. Um so that could be part of it, but it just
Yeah.
in comparison to everything else, it felt clunky and like I couldn't imagine when normally I don't play with melee weapons in RPGs. So like maybe it just was me not wrapping my head around when I would use that.
You
But
know what I'm gonna say to help you kinda, like, get over that fact? Because I could see that. You remember when they revealed Doom, the, like, 2016 version,
yeah.
and even Doom Eternal, they probably showed some. They played that game absolutely nothing like how I played it, or you would play it when you're on the harder difficulties, where, like, you are sweating, like, frantic movement, hearts pounding, you can't even breathe. But in their game, they're like, "Oh, yeah, here's the shotgun." They slowly pick it up, like, do the animation, and then now he, like, shoots one guy, walks around, shoots the next guy, and they might speed it up a little later, but they always do that. This game has abilities that, like, you can dash. They showed that when they were fighting someone. They, like, did the dash, but they kept pausing in between. Bro, you best believe I'm getting that dash, I'm getting that sword, and I'm, like, ninja sliding in and out, just slicing, dicing, getting out. Like, it's gonna play so much better than what they
Yeah.
showed there. So,
That's completely fair. I'm just saying, like, that was, like, the one thing that I was like, "Huh, man,
yeah.
like, that didn't look as crisp."
And I
But
get that concern because, like, I have had that happen where, like, "Oh, wait, why does the game look so slow?" But then you gotta remember, like, how you'll actually play it because it's most likely gonna play a lot better.
I'll be going so stealth. Like, my whole mantra when I play this game is gonna be stealth, blending
See, the
in.
fun part is you don't have to go stealth the whole game because I don't really care for being stealthy for the entire length of a game usually. I like to have the option to go in and out. And that's like why I said I like Ghost of Tsushima so much is because I felt like I could go stealth or just in your face at any moment and they both felt good. So like you'll
Yeah.
have the option to go stealthy hacky. But now you're like, "Oh, I just got this dope new shotgun. Let me just bust in there." Like
Yeah.
the dev straight up said one of his favorite shotguns was an 8-barrel shotgun that can have it's like a smart weapon that each shotgun slug goes to kill a different person. He's like, killing a room has never been easier. So like if you're like, oh dude, there's 8 guys in here and I need to get past them, just walk in, boof, keep walking. Like, what the heck, dude? Like just the creativity going into some of these.
Yeah. So, like, which path are you leaning towards?
I think Corpo, simply because I think Street Kid was what they showed everything so far. Like they showed a lot of like, okay, you get in the back of a car, you talk to a gang leader, and like it's a lot of gang stuff. You go into bars and there's clubs and like all that gang lifestyle. Then I saw a little bit of the Nomad one where you start outside the city and you can drive the cars and live that lifestyle, and your intro is getting to Night City. And I'm like, okay, that's a cool option. I'll definitely play that mode, but I don't want my first 5-10 hours of the game being getting to the city. So I saw this new corpo path and I was like, oh, I'm like, I literally was like, we're working in IT. I kind of want to see these like crazy innards of a
Yeah.
futuristic like 2077 year company and see like the jokes or the Easter eggs and stuff they do. But then also I'll kind of have like the back end knowledge of like because I'm pretty sure there's some sort of like corporate conspiracy going on there. So I don't know. That one seemed pretty interesting to me. But I don't know. We'll be playing the game multiple times, so what about you?
I I'm going Nomad, I think. I think
Like,
I've
just like
finally
that's decided, that's what you want?
Yeah, because I think it's the most interesting route where, like what you said is you make your way into Night City. And in my opinion, I think people are gonna eventually want to go to the where the nomads start, and from their description, it seems like it's a really dangerous area, and it might be beneficial to the nomads to have that knowledge of the area coming out the gate.
I think it's dangerous also because of the nomads. Like, they're like the hillbillies kinda, so they run the Badlands, you
Yeah.
know?
So I'm just I think I'd be more interested in, like, starting there and then going into the city might be more, like, surprising.
That's
'Cause
fair.
then like, I still get a feel for the game, and then it's like, "And now you're in the city," like, what
Yeah,
you've been
yeah,
waiting to experience.
that's fair. But, like,
Um,
with how long the wait's been, I'm like, I don't wanna do an extra that's just me.
but, like, that's because we always seen is inside the city, so, like, it would be
But, like,
interesting to
you still do have the option to leave the city, and,
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah.
I think it will be fun to kinda, like, gear up and then, "Okay, now I'm exiting the city. Let's see if I can survive." Because also with it being, like, desert themed and stuff, it's like I've played that with Borderlands where, like, it feels a little bit drab after a while, and, like, this is to no fault of their own, like, it's just a barren wasteland, you know? So it's like, it's not supposed to have a ton of stuff. There will be stuff to explore and get, and, like, probably Easter eggs and things, and I will have fun doing that, but I just wanna just be plopped in there, and
Yeah.
that's the 2 different viewpoints, and it's really cool how, like, you're gonna start there, I'm gonna start here, we're gonna have completely different experiences, but then, like, we might flip later on, and I'll play Nomad, and I might even find different paths within that, so, like,
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
Yeah, me too.
So then, one last thing got announced, and it's kind of funny because recently I remember you seeing some Sam Fisher related things. You're like, oh, are they going to confirm him for Rainbow Six Siege? Like, you got really excited, and then they like crushed your dreams. And
Right.
then can't forget that. But then we got a little teaser for the the exact thing that you thought, but not exactly the way that you thought it would be.
Reminds me of Fall Break. Yeah, they I mean, it's exciting, but also he looks like shit, like like,
Yeah.
but no, I'm really excited that they did this. I mean, I was literally on here said that I don't know why they're not using his IP more. I hope the reason this comes 5 years after Rainbow Six Siege has been released, because they're maybe hinting at they're gonna do another Splinter Cell game.
That would be very cool. Like, I
'Cause
hope.
you gotta think, why did they go like an old Sam Fisher for his look? Maybe they're gonna do another Sam Fisher and it's gonna be him as older and,
And that's what I was kinda thinking at first because when his little, 3 dots showed up and you're thinking that's his headgear, and it turns out to be, like, his laser pointer, that's just, like, a little tree, or homage to it, like, I'm sitting here like, "Okay, wait, why is he an old dude?" But then I'm like, "Okay, wait a minute, he's like, 'Don't ever count me out.'" So I'm
Yeah.
like, so he's saying he's still got stuff in him.
Yeah, yeah.
So, like, that's probably, like, another game being teased, right? Like,
Hopefully.
so that
Been
makes
waiting.
sense.
Yeah, been waiting since high school. That was the last time they had a major release in Splinter Cell.
Yeah, I didn't play any of the modern ones like Blacklist or there was
Conviction.
another one in there, but I play yeah, Conviction. I heard Conviction was really good though, but that was
Dude,
like
it was so good.
yeah, I was like 13 at the time or something, and
Sounds
like
alright.
I had to ask parents for games, so like I prioritized asking for a different one. But
Yeah, I love the co-op that was like the best part about it is doing the co-op, and
Yeah,
you can like take on whole maps with a friend and go stealthy.
yeah.
But the biggest thing that came out of this news thing was I've been recently getting back into Rainbow Six Siege, occasionally with coworkers, when they want to play, and I gotta say I've fallen back in love with it 5 years later. Um,
But,
I
like, hold
had
on, though, 'cause I don't want you to say that term lightly, like, you're saying you're falling back in love, like, you're thoroughly enjoying it, or if it is it kinda just like, "This is fun."
thir thoroughly enjoying it. Like
Wow.
if
Okay.
if
Okay, okay,
if
I
I
see
didn't
that.
have if I didn't have such a stacked like agenda, I would be playing way more. I would be putting way more effort into playing it like each day.
Mhm.
It's competitive, it's more realistic. I mean, I it's the things I liked about when I first played it, and I'm playing with like squads of 5, so it's like you don't get any of those like randos in your.
Oh, so you have a full squad.
Yeah, my friend that plays has like a
Oh,
full squad of people
that
play,
changes things.
and they're telling me that I'm playing non-ranked with them. They're telling me these certain things I gotta do that I didn't know when I was playing on Xbox when it came out 5 years ago that people have, like, honed in.
Yeah,
The game it, like my main thing is that they've just supported it so well for so many years and still are, obviously, and they're
yeah.
still coming up with operators and seasons and game modes that, like, I have a newfound or refound appreciation for this game. Um, Now does that mean I'm gonna play it every night? No. But I still it's like one of those things where I put some respect on my name. It's like, put some respect on that game. Like, it definitely, like, when you bring up first person shooters, like, it needs to be in the list. Like, it shouldn't be ignored.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't like it when it first came out in 2015 just because I wasn't used to the style of play. It was slow, it was clunky in comparison to the fast-paced stuff I played, but it was one of the first slower paced games that I ended up liking when I played with friends and things, and they did have very good support with the operators and DLC. And I don't play it for long periods of time. Whenever somebody's like, "Hey, like, let's check out this season. Like, let's pop in there." I always enjoy it. Like, I'll come back and like it'll be a rough start because
Oh,
like it's like you die in like half a bullet and like your toes hanging out, like you're screwed kind of thing. But
you're barricading a wall that somebody's like, "Hey, that's my wall. I need to break it down." Like, they want, like, the
yeah,
whole
that's where I get like I feel like I'm constantly stepping on people's toes because it's like I'm just gonna hunker down in my corner, but they're like, no, that's like my kill hole. Like I go blast like a tiny little thing in there. I know all the angles, and it's like I don't like. I'm sorry, dude. Like
Yeah.
it takes a little bit to get back into, but I always end up having fun with it. So like I think if you have a squad of people like that, and you don't have to do it randoms, it'll be way more fun. So
Yeah.
maybe I'll hop back in
100%.
with you like occasionally, but I still got to
Yeah, you
do
should.
Ghost of Tsushima first, and then
Yeah.
make a review on it. So
Yep.
well, dang, you're gonna go play a ton tonight, aren't you? Like you're like I don't play every night, but we sign off. You're just be like, all right, full marathon, Rainbow Six Siege.
Nah, I've been playing a lot this week, so I'm just gonna chill out for a bit on the couch, I think, tonight.
Gonna go
Do a
back to
little
watching some little TV action.
little Sopranos action.
Not Umbrella Academy.
Oh, we already finished it.
Oh damn! All right, cool. You just slid that out of there. All right,
Oh,
dang.
shit.
Well, thanks guys for watching. We hope that you enjoyed the episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. And Keegan will take the rest of it.
That was such a crisp send off. All right. Yeah, please give us feedback. We want to build this community and we want to get to 1,000 subscribers. So the sooner we can get to there, the sooner we could do way more adventurous things for you guys, the fans. And we want to do things that are more tailored towards what you want to see in here. So please give us that feedback. It's crucial. And spread the word. We don't really put a lot of money into our marketing or advertising.
Yes.
So it's really just word of mouth that really would help us. So if you like the show, chances are maybe one of your friends will too. So post it in your Discord channels that you share with your buddies, join ours, and I hope you guys enjoyed the show.
And that's why I handed it off because I knew you were about to kill that shit, boy. All right, we'll see you next week.
See you guys.